Hey folks, hope everyone's well out there. Today I just want to have a talk. I don't want to get into any exercises. I just want to talk to you. Please don't get bored and turn this off. Numbers. Had a real interesting week this week. A couple of my students, one's out on the East Coast and one's local. Both good athletes. Both running into problems. Numbers. They tell a lot. You're going to see me talking to you all the time about the slider boards, the chains, bands, all kinds of abstract things. I've started doing duck walks up staircases, actually. There's another one I'll throw at you for the legs. Okay, I'm all about using everything, but I'm all about using everything. Don't forget, numbers are part of everything. Sometimes you football guys out there, you drove me crazy at the gym because everything is about numbers all the time. Your bench press drops 5 pounds during one workout because it's 95 degrees outside and you can't see straight from working outside all day. Well, that's the end of the world. You're ready to pack it in and quit. Don't let numbers control your life. However, numbers tell you something. They're quantitative. My one local young guy who I really enjoy my time with, who's a great young man, numbers, unfortunately for him, really discouraged him out of a situation. It was discouraging for him to see his numbers. He's gotten away from his strength training. He's gotten into another sport because he loves playing a different sport during the summer, but his strength is being sacrificed. He came back here looking to maybe get to a camp next week. The numbers aren't there, but it was quantitative and we saw that. Thank goodness for numbers. My other fellow out there on the East Coast, maybe into a bit of a funk, kind of hitting a plateau. I don't think the quantitative numbers are being challenged. This is why in a lot of my blog posts I'm going to use the word deadlift. Deadlift, deadlift, deadlift. Go back in my posts, you're going to see it. I always talk to you about innovative things and thinking outside the box and having fun, but as I say about my own gym, you look around my own gym, you're going to see about 2,000 pounds of free weight. You're going to see the bars down there. You see the rack. You see the bench press. Quantitative. If you go out and spend a week on the road making sales calls from Bangor, Maine to Springfield, Massachusetts, and you figure you've hit 10 good places and you come back and you say to your family, I had a great week. I think everybody liked me. I did great. What has to happen for you to really know? You write 10 good essays. All of a sudden you're thinking you're great. Format's good. Teachers like me. I'm doing well. What's the real telltale? The real telltale is when that phone rings for that first order to come in or that first contract, or when that A comes to you, or B, or C, or maybe when that D comes to you and you look and you go, geez, I got to pull up my socks. Or if you're trying as hard as you can and D's as good as it's going to get, you at least know it's quantitative. You have to have something quantitative. All the peripheral training that you're doing, all the innovative stuff, is to not have you bored, is to train those core muscles, is to get your whole body working synergistically. The fruits of your labor has got to be something quantitative. I love the deadlift because as you get up, you bend down, you pick the bar up. It's quantitative. You can't miss. Another good one, the bench press. You want to try the bench press though? If you're doing it, you got to make sure that you're coming down and you're resting off your chest and you're coming up. It's got to be strict. It's got to be consistent for it to truly be quantitative. Don't forget, if you're using the bench press, if one day you're coming down to here, and the next day you're coming down to here, and the third time you're bouncing off your chest, well, what is it? It's nothing. You don't know. It has to be consistent. The squat is another good one. I've got my pins. I set my pins to 6, 7. That's just my setting. I know that when I come down to my squat, I actually let that bar rest on 6 and 7, and up I come. Has to be consistent, has to be quantitative. It's going to give you something to shoot for. Don't get stuck If you're hitting a plateau, it's maybe because you don't have anything quantitative. You might be, if you're looking at yourself in the mirror thinking, man, I should be changing, you're not going to change week by week. Man, I should be getting stronger. You're not going to get stronger week by week. If you get stronger week by week, the strongest men in the world will be 105 years old. The guys who started lifting when they were 25, they'd been lifting for 80 years. They should be the strongest men in the world. It doesn't work that way. You're not going to change week by week. Okay? It's going to take time. But if you're quantitative, you're at least going to be able to say, wow, this is working. Something's happening. I'm getting stronger. Look, you don't have to go for a single rep maximum all the time either. If you know roughly what your single rep maximum is with the deadlift, a good indicator is maybe 80%. Take 80% and go. See how many reps you can get out. Okay? Just a suggestion. Do something quantitative. And oh yeah, you want to know the easiest quantitative measure? I did it the other day as I was outside cutting some grass at my mom and dad's. Just wanted to see where I was. Standing long jump. Down, spring out. It's going to be the same every time. Mark yourself. It's quantitative. Figure something quantitative, that's going to help your training. Until next time, see you later.